Breaking news, friends, billionaires don't play video games. You're a gamer, chances are you're gonna be poor for life. As indie musician Jake Lyons tweeted, as a grown adult, why are you playing video games? Don't you have goals? And this opinion was of course doubled down with a follow-up tweet saying, I don't mind being hated for this tweet. If you get triggered, it's probably because you know you have better things to do with your life. Billionaires don't play video games. God, it's like I can feel my chances making it rich playing video games on YouTube just slip through my hands.
Are you listening?
Hey, welcome back, friends. For today's show, we are talking about the question that seems to be on everybody's mind. Do video games make me poor? And clearly, the answer to that question is yes. And before everybody gets up in arms, let's talk about it. You start off by buying a console for $500, and then you're gonna need a game for said console, which typically run you like $40 to $70 a pop. And eventually, you're gonna beat that game, which leads you to buying more video games, which, keep in mind, $40 to $70 for every game you buy. And that will lead you to needing headphones, because you're not gonna be gaming at night without them. Trust me, as someone who has been married, you do not want your wife waking up to the sound of you getting teabagged by middle schoolers on Call of Duty. Just not the conversation you wanna have, folks. But then buying accessories like a new headphone eventually leads you to needing a new controller, or chargers for said controllers. And then you get a notification, your favorite game is launching a DLC expansion, and you obviously need to buy that. And then you find out, oh my god, there's new character and weapon skins? I need them, because I can't be walking around in the standard skin. No one's gonna know how much I love this game. Which then, of course, leads you to the Battle Pass, and god, I hate Battle Passes. They always end up the exact same way. You buy a Battle Pass, get really close to completing it, and then your friends want to play a different game, which happens to offer its own set of skins, weapons, characters, and of course, Battle Pass. And you then have this awkward conversation like, am I really gonna buy a second Battle Pass? I haven't even completed the first one. I mean, it's not like I'm not gonna complete the first one. I still have a week to finish it. You know what? I am an adult with adult money, and I work hard. I deserve that second Battle Pass. I'm gonna buy it. So you buy it. You play the game for a day, and then you never touch it again, because by that point your friends are playing a new game. Some game where you drive a car and play soccer, but you hate soccer, but you play it anyway because your friends are playing it and you don't want to be a lonely idiot on the internet. And then you get a notification saying you only have 24 hours left for your original Battle Pass, and you panic because you don't want to think I've wasted my money here. So you jump into the store, you see how many tiers are left, you look at it, you say, okay, I could spend more money to complete it, or I could beat it in a certain amount of hours. I can't do it in 24 hours, so you end up buying the tiers to unlock level 100, because let's be honest, you bought the Battle Pass for that level 100 skin. And then the next day, Activision announces a brand new season, which has a brand new Battle Pass, and you start the process over and over and over again. So to answer your question, do video games make me poor? Yes, Johnny. Video games make me very poor. And it is probably the reason my kids will have to work through college, because Daddy needed Battle Passes. But to take a second and go back to this now deleted tweet from Jake Lyons, billionaires don't play video games. And I'm struck by this, because what about the likes of Mark Zuckerberg, Larry Page, Elon Musk, Steven Spielberg, Jeff Bezos, or Gabe Newell? And granted, that probably sounded like a list of random billionaires that we got off of Google search. And if that's what you're thinking, you're correct. That is a list of some random billionaires that, yes, we generated from a quick Google search of billionaires who game. But for some reason, this is the narrative that gets thrown around at video games, and consuming gaming content and being a gamer is somehow painted as being lazy. I mean, Jake captures this perfectly with his tweet saying, why are you playing video games? Don't you have goals? Yeah, I've got a bunch of goals. After filming this video, I've got to sabotage the Gallywix Pride. After that, I heard the Horde's commander is marching against Astanar, and definitely got to address that. And later today, I've got to stall the Horde's aggression on Lordinal. So yeah, got a pretty busy weekend, Jake. And I guess what I find ironic about like an argument that gamers are lazy for consuming content is like, no one ever says this for any other form of entertainment. You spent 12 hours watching college and professional sports this weekend? Don't you have goals? You binged the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe with your grandma? Don't you have goals? You spent 5 hours building a Lego set with your kids? God, don't you have goals? Like, fuck off. But again, according to Jake Lyons, if you get triggered, it's probably because you know you have better things to do with your life. And you know what? That is the part that really makes me sad. Because Jake Lyons is a 17-year-old kid who, out of anyone, should probably be wasting their time playing video games right now. I mean, I'm a 33-year-old man, and I miss my teenage years because back then I had zero responsibility. Now I have a full-time job. I run this entire YouTube channel on the side. I've got a wife and a kid. And any content that you see here, TikTok, Twitter, or anywhere else, it was written, produced, edited, and of course uploaded by me. And I will be the first to admit, I work extremely hard to make this channel a success. And my available gaming time is few and far between because of that. But spoiler alert, I am not a billionaire. In fact, I made $115 on YouTube last month. For as hard as I worked, I would have rather paid someone $115 just to allow me to play video games. And I think that is what brings me back to what makes me sad about this tweet. So many teenagers and 20-somethings have this mentality that like, you gotta be a billionaire in order to be successful. You know, if you're not the next Kim Kardashian, Taylor Swift, or David Dobrik, you're pretty much a lazy piece of shit because you just didn't work hard enough. And these kids are constantly being bombarded with like, you gotta work hard, and if you don't work hard, you're a lazy sack of garbage because and that saddens me so much because the entire generation sees that as the definition of success. When the reality is, the secret to success is that you have the ability to define success. And if you want to be a billionaire, that's awesome. But understand, there are only 3,000 billionaires in this world. When you look at the United States, that number shrinks down to 600 people. So if that is your goal, again, awesome. I wish you nothing but the best. But don't shame people for having a different mindset. We all hold the ability to define success differently. For you, it might be being a billionaire. But for someone else, it could be being able to buy groceries, put clothes on their kids, pay their bills, and play video games at the end of the week is their definition of success. And if that's true, then they're successful. And fuck anyone who tries to tell them differently.